Let's go to the National League. Start with Milwaukee and Pittsburgh, 8-1 Brewers. 7 scoreless innings for Dave Bush. Your thoughts on Dave Bush, Al?
My thoughts just, whew, because I have him in there. My NL only for 2 starts this week. Almost pulled them for Wade LeBlanc, who I'm almost sure to call Matt LeBlanc at some point.
Okay.
But I'm glad I stuck with Bush. But, yeah, it's going to be a roller coaster ride with him.
But it's a roller coaster ride. It's all up right now.
Matt LeBlanc was in a baseball movie, wasn't he?
He was. He was.
There you go. Sorry, roller coaster ride all up right now. You like him. 2 RBI for Rickie Weeks. This guy was one of your sleepers, E-Mac.
Yeah, also Howard Kendrick hitting 340. So those breakout second basemen are breaking out, and they're staying healthy. That's the important thing. These guys haven't gone over Weeks hasn't gone over 500 at-bats. Kendrick hasn't even reached 400 bats in a single season. If those guys get over that, they're going to end up in the top 10 easily, maybe even top 5 of second baseman.
Looking at Jim Edmonds' numbers, he's been surprisingly solid. Does he have value?
He does. I actually think the best is yet to come with him. He's not hitting for very much power yet, not hitting a lot of fly balls. I think that's going to even itself out with more playing time. So, I think you'll see the decent average along with more power as the season wears on.
Moving on, Cincinnati beats the Dodgers 11-9. Looking at that Dodgers lineup, though, they are really raking. Who's standing out to you the most?
Matt Kemp, 6 bombs. Everybody was wondering why he was going in the first round of leagues, and this is the reason. He could hit 30 homers, 30 steals, hit 300. And he also has Rihanna and all the cool mojo going with him in Hollywood.
For the Reds, Francisco Cordero has 5 saves. How do you rank him amongst closers? We talk about closers all the time. This guy's been steady.
Well, he's steady in save totals year to year, but he's erratic day to day, and his ERA tends to be high. But you want him for saves, and that's what he gives you. So, he's a guy you can start in any league.
E-Mac, the Mets are amazing. 4-0 win over the Cubs. I mean, they're 2-0 since Ike Davis came up. There's got to be something there. Pelfrey, though, great again, 7 scoreless.
Yeah, his ERA dropped to 0.86, or 0.86. Pelfrey is a guy that I wanted to see break out last year. He didn't, and now he looks like he's breaking out this year. He's a must-own in all leagues, and I'm cursing Scott White for getting him in the podcast league. I can't believe he was available.
I know.
I went to bed around 2:30 in the morning. I didn't even look at the podcast league. I should have, because Pelfrey's a must-own.
When did he get him?
He got him like 2:30 and 3:30.
Oh, because I looked this morning and I saw Scott.
Yeah, he picked him up like late. But I don't know why I didn't have him owned going into this week. This is a 2-start week. I know his matchups look tough, but the Cubs are struggling. Pelfrey should be owned, and he could be that number 2 starter the Mets needed, and maybe like a 3.2 ERA and 15 wins out of him this year.
All right, did Jose Reyes have his breakout game? Triple, stolen base, 4 hits, 2 RBI.
He's been struggling. He needed that day off, that lag from the 20-inning game. And then he was talking to the SNY sideline reporters, and he just was sounding tired. He was sounding frustrated with his body. He wasn't confident. He hasn't let it go. And then he hit a triple, let it go, 4 hits, stole a base. I think we got Reyes back.
Al, David Wright, struggling.
He's struggling in the batting average department, but the power is there much more so than it was last year, and we knew we were going to see that. And then the batting average is going to come around too. He just had a freakish season last year in terms of kind of inverting his profile, being more of a line drive hitter. But he's going to right the ship this year, and you'll see that batting average come up very soon.
Crazy finish in Atlanta. The Phillies led this game 3-0 with 2 outs in the 9th. Gloss 2-run homer. Hayward solo homer to tie it. He's got a flair.
Is he any good?
10th inning, Nate McLeod hits a walk-off home run. 4-3 Braves win. This was a lot of fun. Now, I looked at that. Ryan Madsen blew the save, and I thought probably good news for Brad Lidge owners. Yeah. I don't know if we're looking too far ahead, but
yeah, they say late April, so that's early next week. It might even be if Madsen keeps this up, his 7.71 ERA, they might go to Lidge immediately in the closer's role. I thought it'd be the other way. I thought maybe they'd ease him in, but Madsen's just pitching himself back to setup duty. Kyle Kendrick, though, a guy I started in the first 2 weeks of the season, was looking for a lot of run support, and he was giving up run support to the other team. And then he goes out and has a dynamic outing, and he's on my bench, and I probably should have started him as a 2-star pitcher.
All right, let's talk about Martin Prado for the Braves. We haven't spoken too much about him. He's got a .431 batting average, only 1 hitless game this year. Despite that, no steals, 3 RBI, 1 home run, 10 runs scored. That's good. So I look at that. What is his fantasy value? I mean, he's not having a great offensive year other than the batting average.
Yeah, but again, as the season wears on, a little more power from Prado. He's not going to be a huge power guy, but you'll see more than what you've got so far. The batting average obviously is going to come down, but this is a guy that we talked about back in spring training. I think we both tabbed him as a sleeper. He's a legit 300, 310 hitter. So while the average is obviously going to come down, he is a good batting average candidate for any format.
Now, I imagine that a guy like this who's breaking out right now, people are maybe thinking, I could trade him and sell high. Do you recommend that, or should you hang on to him?
I don't think so, because I don't think the perception's caught up with the reality. In spite of 2 good weeks from him, I think people still see him as this middle-of-the-pack, sort of prototypical middle infield type. He's a better hitter than that, and I don't think you'll get value for him at this point.
The Rockies crushed the Nationals 10-4. What is Melvin Mora's value? Not an everyday player, but
NL only, extra versatile, plays second base, third base.
Okay.
Deeper only leagues.
Jorge De La Rosa gets the win through his second straight kind of subpar outing. Are you concerned?
No, and if you look at his season stats, they're what you're going to get from him. Lots of strikeouts. He'll get some run support. He'll get some wins. He's going to walk a lot of guys. He has so far. He'll continue to do that. He'll give up a lot of hits, too, despite the high strikeout rate, which is sort of a strange thing about De La Rosa. So he's a little bit of a frustrating guy, because you see somebody with his strikeout potential and you think this guy's going to be a stud. I think he's just going to keep falling short of that, and that's pretty much what he's done so far.
Franklin Morales righted himself a little bit, got 2 strikeouts and a scoreless inning.
Yeah, it's worth noting that he blew that save the other day on Sunday, and he didn't really pitch that poorly. He had some bad luck in that outing, including that weird questionable balk situation. Diamondbacks over the Cardinals, 9-7. Kelly Johnson had 3 doubles for Arizona, and Gerardo Parra with 2 doubles and 2 RBI, your quick pitch guy yesterday.
Yeah, we knew it, right?
There you go. Any thoughts on the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals?
Well, Ryan Ludwig hitting back in the 2-hole in front of Albert Pujols. That's what led to his breakthrough season a couple years ago. He's back in that 2-hole. He had a homer on Monday. He had 2 homers off of Dan Herron. This is not a guy that bags groceries. This guy can throw it. And Ludwig's hitting 2 bombs off him. Pujols also took Herron deep. But Ludwig looks like he could be back to that guy, especially if he stays in that 2-hole in front of Albert Pujols. That's the most comfy batting position in all of baseball. And then we got Dan Herron, 7 earned, 5+ ERA. Yeah. I ranked him 17th.
I know. You don't like him that much.
Chad Qualzo, we talked about him yesterday in the struggling D-backs bullpen. They both pitched scoreless innings. Actually, Gutierrez went 2 scoreless, and Qualls righted himself as well. So maybe they're on the comeback.
It's a miracle.
Gutierrez. He could close. I see it.
Lance Berkman is back, and all is right in the Houston Astros world. They win 7-5 over the Marlins. Berkman drove in 2. Brett Myers goes 7 innings, allows 4 runs. What do you think about Myers?
I thought he was a sleeper as a 2-start pitcher. This looked like to be the tougher of the 2 matchups that he has this week, and he got through it all right. His ERA is right around 4. I think that's what you could expect. And I think this Astros team, they're going to score a lot of runs when they get hot. Hunter Pence shouldn't have been available in the podcast league. Another guy I missed picking up. Carlos Lee's going to get hot. Pence actually had 2 hits last night.
Scott didn't get him, did he?
No, I think it was Christopher LaSpada.
Oh, all right.
I love his sandwiches. Those Italian sandwiches.
Great subs.
Okay.
Great spot. Heck of a pitcher's duel in San Diego, our last National League game. Padres win 1-0. And we talked about Jonathan Sanchez yesterday, so let's talk about the guy who won with 7 scoreless innings. Matt Latos. What do you think about Matt Latos? How good can he be?
I think it's Latos, by the way. But
no, I think it is Latos.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. You can't. I learned a lesson with Azer and pronunciations. He's very prepared. If he's bringing up a guy and he says it first, don't correct him because he's looked it up.
It's true. And our producer played
three
against him in high
one.
school. Says it's Latos.
Mike Friedman played against him in high school. Did you get any hits off him, Mikey?
No comment. I think you have to sort of pronounce the T, though. Latos. It's somewhat.
Well, I think we've covered the pronunciation.
Yeah, how good can he be?
I stand corrected. He could be very good. I just don't know that he'll be very good this year. He certainly could be, but he's young. He's still, even with his major league exposure, relatively untested at the higher levels. This guy's going to be great. I just think, like other guys we talked about, like Kershaw, that there'll be the roller coaster ride.
Yeah. Young pitching is going to happen like that,
yeah.
Especially when you're on a team that's not going to get you consistent run support. So he is a valuable pitcher in Roto. I think in head-to-head he's a little more risky because he might not win a consistent number of games.
All right.
But
Yeah.
Jonathan Sanchez, smoking. 10 Ks, 1 hit, a must-own in all leagues.